Hello, Taurus gang. How are you guys? Happy to have you here on my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. Welcome to the newbies. I'm happy to have you guys. I do ask you click on the timestamp below that reads Tarot, FAQ, and Rules so that you can better understand what it is here I do on my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, gang. Happy to have you. I truly appreciate you stopping by again. So these are sort of what I'm calling general March monthlies. They're a little bit late. It's past March 1st, but whatever, right? We're going to roll with it because really these are evergreen readings. There's no specific timeline or date that these readings are good for, so please know that in advance. What are we going to be talking about? Interesting. You got Saturn as well. Give me one more on this, please. We'll hop in. I'm starting with oracle cards that are sort of showing me the theme of what we're going to be talking about. So one more. Give me one clarifier on that. Okay. Interesting. You guys need to have more fun. Isn't that a good message to get in tarot? I don't know if that makes you happy to hear it, but you're not making enough time for your creativity and your passions. You seem to be working hard and in a sense, loving the fulfillment you feel from working hard. But it's like your spirit guides or God's source, whatever you consider a higher power that's watching over you, angel gang. They're trying to relay to you, Taurus, that you need to invest more time in your fun, in your creative hobbies, your passions, as well as even possibly your children, with a lot of fifth house activity coming in. So it could be that a lot of you, if you do have, some of you may have the placement of Saturn in your fifth house, in which case you view it from a very serious standpoint. A tremendous amount of responsibility needs to be put in the areas of fun and creativity and hobbies and games and speculation and gambling and like all those fifth house matters. So do you see the duality there? Like it's your responsibility to have fun, which I think is a really cool message. And I actually feel like that's very appropriate for Taurus. And it's not to say you don't excel in that arena, but I think some of you have sort of lost track of that because maybe you have some serious shit going on in your life, right? Maybe, maybe you're looking for a job or maybe you're caring for an ill family member or whatever it is. I don't say it without sympathy or compassion, right? But it's saying remember to almost like laughter is the best medicine. So is your fun spirit, your creative side. And then we're also going to talk about action you should take. So let's actually start there. Tell me a little bit about this, the fire element. Now, this could be a fire sign in your life, or it could just be messages about things you need to move towards, your passion, your faith, your fun. That's really what wands can be as well. Your creativity, your curiosity. What are you curious about? What is this? There's something that keeps nagging at you. There's an issue you may be having, especially with a coworker or a friend, or it's like something just keeps eating away at you. It's rubbing you the wrong way. So for some of you, it's needing to confront someone and express that something went down and you don't feel good about it. For a lot of you, this could even be offering an apology or a reconciliation or making a right from something that went kind of wrong or wacky. I'm not sure this is romantic. It certainly could be. I'm going to let you choose how you're going to view it, but I would say don't limit yourself to that because as much as this may resonate for you in a romantic relationship, I really do want to give you a little pushback that, yeah, that could be true, but this could also resonate in another area of your life. I think universe is wanting me to really encourage you to look at it that way. So this feels like making amends, but you, in a sense, you're struggling with it because I think there's, I don't mean to offend, but there's a little bit of ego involved here. It would force you to have to let down your guard, which here's the thing, like, what I'm trying to say in an eloquent way is you're ruled by planet Venus, right? You are ruled by the planet of love, of balance, of harmony, of being considerate of the other. So as much as you may be able to maintain, maybe more Aries, Sagittarius, Leo type energy, whatever it is, fighting fire with fire, I do feel like it's very likely that you're going to be the one to reach out first because there is a sentimentality about this. There's an attachment. There's a desire to make this right. So I think a lot of you realize that in playing the whole waiting game, like, well, they need to apologize to me first. I think your expectations there were not met, but it doesn't mean that there can't be a way to make right of this situation. Tell me more, Spirit. Sorry. Sometimes I know I'm rambling. It's because I'm trying to get a point across, and yeah, I'm doing my best, guys. You're all up in your head about it. You got a lot of fives. So this says to me there's a lot of opposition and challenge here. I think also some of you feel a sense of guilt or remorse that you wish you had said something different or acted differently. The thing is, you're being encouraged to take action to go revisit this, and I understand why you wouldn't want to, because it is uncomfortable. It's not a situation you're necessarily looking forward to. What you're looking forward to, though, is the aftermath, the peace of mind you get from confronting this person or this situation. Or again, it could be admitting fault for something that you feel strained about. You feel really stressed. It almost gives you anxiety to revisit it mentally, because you're wanting it to be fixed. So, I mean, here's the thing, Taurus, like, you know exactly what I'm going to tell you. I don't care what tarot cards come out after this. If you are all up in your head about this and it's uncomfortable, you have two options. You can not move forward to it and remain in this state and try and figure it out yourself and come to your own peace of mind about it and release. You can do that. More than likely, though, I think universe is saying you can fix this with conversation, with communicating, with being raw and real and vulnerable, right? And maybe it does involve confrontation. I'm not saying it has to erupt into a fight or ever a physical altercation. That's not what I'm advocating for. But I think some of you may be anticipating the worst. You may be anticipating, all right, well, do I really want to... what is that expression? It's almost like reopen the wound. I'm almost getting like pull off the Band-Aid before it's fully healed, because I think it's a sensitive topic, and I think some of you are like, well, if I don't want to agitate it even more, like this person is already mad at me, or there's something going on with you and another person, especially a fire sign. So I think you're erring with caution for multiple reasons, but whatever it is, the quick solution is you either need to come to an internal agreement with yourself or an internal decision about, okay, I don't feel comfortable with this, so I'm going to remove it entirely. Easier said than done. That's going to require a lot of work, right? And so as will the other solution, which is to move towards this person and have a conversation. Maybe there will be an argument. Maybe there will be a fight. But once the dust settles there, you'll have more knowledge about it. At least you'll know where they stand, or you said what you needed to say. So those are your options. You can do nothing. That's your third option. But it doesn't feel like that's the healthy option, because what you're experiencing now isn't fun. So let's wrap this up. What else can I tell them? This may be with an ex who you feel like didn't treat you right, or you... don't make sure you're not spewing venom. It could be that something transpired and it made you very angry, especially if this person ultimately chose someone else over you. And I think part of you may be considering reaching out to them, but it's almost like, do you need to say what you're wanting to say? If you're spewing back at them venomous things and how could you, and you broke my heart, I understand like that is uncomfortable to feel, but what is it going to do by projecting that onto them? It's essentially making your issue their problem. And the thing is, if they've already chosen someone else, I understand this is hard to digest, but it's like you're projecting this issue onto the wrong person, because really it's yours. It's not about what they did to you. It's about how you react to it. And I think a lot of you, I am getting the idea of it feels like you're pulling swords out. Like some of you got really hurt or really heartbroken by this person. So I feel in this reading, it's saying that would be a waste of energy to contact somebody to have the final word, to say what you finally wanted to say to them. Again, if it's not high vibrational, if you're not going back to fix this, but almost to end it with almost like an FU text, I think universe is saying, can we move in a more practical direction? Like, it is completely valid that you guys are feeling that way, but that is just the first step of the healing process. It's going to be anger. I think in time, and again, I know this is hard to hear. Some of you are not going to be ready for this, but I think in time you will come to regret the fact that you sent venomous texts, or do you know what I mean? Not manipulative, but angry, jealousy, whatever it is, because it's coming from a shadow place in yourself. And you're a human being. Everybody has that. I'm not here to reprimand you or make you feel guilty about it, because someone hurt you, right? You have a heart and it deserves love, right? Somebody, it feels like they disobeyed your trust or went against what you said, or just maybe you had the rug pulled out from under you. Something happened and now you feel all torn apart inside. I think universe is saying in the long term, you're going to realize this was essentially a gift or a lesson, because this is going to help you build into the future and do things differently. And maybe it's setting healthier boundaries. Maybe it's coming to an understanding that, you know what, when I feel triggered, I pop off on people, and maybe that's not appropriate anymore. Maybe I've reached a more mature level of emotions at this point where I can understand what I'm feeling isn't always the reality, or maybe I overreact, or maybe I underreact. Maybe I don't respect myself enough and set firm boundaries when people don't follow through with things, right? I'm asking you to be very introspective and ask yourself, what am I feeling? The thing is, you already know, but then take it further. But why? And before you start looking at all the others, bring it back to you. What is it triggering in you? What is uncomfortable about this situation? And maybe it's bringing up anxiety from your past, right? Hold yourself accountable for the healing and changes that need to occur. Don't make it someone else's problems, right? Because no one's going to do the healing work for you. So even if you get an apology from this person, that's great, but is that still going to fix the internal issue of you having whatever these trigger moments are? Anyway, if it does have to do with an ex, you may have another offer coming in, but again, I don't just want to magically fix this with a band-aid and say, oh, okay, well, once you get over your ex, something new comes in. Ideally, right? That would be great, but if you are putting a band-aid on this situation and not actually doing the healing work, this offer is going to take much longer to come in. So it's a good time to go deep, right? It's a good time to really get a healthy perspective on what transpired and what changes you want to initiate in all your future relationships. Excuse me, be it romantic or platonic, business, whatever it is. Maybe it's a family dynamic. Maybe you're fighting with your sister, right? Bring it back to you. Ground yourself. You are good at that, Taurus, right? Be the stabilizing energy that we know and love of Taurus. All right, so there might be a Virgo making romantic proposals to you. Yeah, this person may have already reached out before. You have 2 knights coming in. Now, you could be one of them, right? Some of you may actually decide to let an air sign go, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because their words didn't match their action. And here, Taurus, it seems like you're all about the action. Like, don't tell me your plan, show me your results. Unfortunately, you were dealing with someone who may have promised you things and didn't deliver on them. And again, this can always go vice versa. So give me 1 on this one, please. Yeah, there could have been, I'm sort of getting like pregnancy scare. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but there may have been a reassessment or a reevaluation of who you were with when either a topic of conversation about the long term came up or establishing a more solidified partnership. It could be talks of families or engagements or whatever. Somebody seemed to have gotten cold feet, especially the air sign, the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, where it really put things in a new perspective. But again, as difficult or brutal as that was, understanding that that person is not in alignment or on the same page as you, it is a blessing in disguise, even though it's going to hurt to rip off that band-aid to let that one go. But obviously, why would you want to build a future with someone who doesn't want the same things, right? I think that's really important to remember. So here's the thing. What I like about this, because I do think this is you, Taurus, for the most part, when you move past the X, right, no matter what the zodiac sign is, I don't really care. This is just saying, like, this person wants to fly free and you want to get grounded and you know, start a family or do this or do that, whatever. And again, you can switch the roles, but one person wanted out. One person valued their freedom more than a partnership at that point in time. The cool thing is, though, is that this person who by nature shares the same elements would be a better pair because they value the same things. What's standing between these two meeting up essentially is getting rid of the middleman, getting rid of the one that maybe you were holding on to or trying to fix something with. And some of you can, right? Maybe you had to lose this person to understand how much you actually love them and want to be with them. Either way, there's a connection here that I think is there's more compatibility here, no matter the zodiac sign. But I think you need the higher perspective of understanding when you let go of something that really doesn't serve you, it makes room for something better in your life. That's the action you need to take. I'm hearing catch and release. So again, this may have to do with an ex or any sort of partnership, really. I do like this a lot. Tell me a little bit more about that, please. They're telling me to switch decks. They're like, that one. Okay. Tell me a little bit more about this, please. It could be another earth sign that you connect with, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oh, that one jumped. Let's see. All right, some assessment. Yeah, if I don't think this is third party. I don't really get that. But if it is, you're being asked to let go of the one that doesn't fit into the mix anymore. And maybe you were the third party, right? Just saying, just putting it out there. So I actually think this might be someone you return back to from the past. The King of Cups came out in reverse, and I almost see that as it was a very good offer, but at the time you rejected it, or you weren't at a place in your life where you were able to accept that gift. This does feel romantic, but again, it certainly doesn't have to be. I think you reassessed that it was actually a good offer because this person actually desired what you want as well, and maybe it took going through a really crummy circumstance for you to realize that, or for you to have maybe you had a change in perspective of what you want. You thought you wanted X, Y, and Z with a certain person, but having met them, having maybe experienced pieces of that, I would say allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to change your mind. And I need you guys to understand, I'm never advocating that you settle, that you just accept an offer because you feel like you can't get anyone else. That's not what I'm saying. This is actually a really good offer. The King of Cups is very compatible with you, right? In theory, it could be a Scorpio or any water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Earth and water go very well together. It is compatible. At one point in time, though, you didn't think so. So I really do sense for some reason or another, this relationship that could get off the ground, it does go through a period of, I need to think about this. And so maybe you needed to think about it away from that person. Maybe you guys needed to take a break, but I think the offer still stands. I get the sense that this King of Cups is still waiting on you, Taurus, whether you are male or female, okay? All right. So then let's go into this whole Saturn. It's time to put more energy into your fun, into your or channel your creative spirit. We'll see what that is. Yes, some of you're going to become more social in the coming months. And I understand a lot of us have been kind of doing the whole pandemic quarantine thing. Well, I hope everybody has, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's lifted in certain areas. So some of us have been able to, go out and see friends in a safe way, and other people haven't, right? It's been very lonely. It's been very seclusive, like hermit mode. There's a transition where there's more socialization or getting together with people safely, of course. I'm never advocating anything not safe. And it could even be via technology. Maybe you're doing more FaceTime with friends, or you might even be doing game nights with people. Again, especially online, I see that happening, and it would just be very good for your spirit. Are you a fierce Scrabble competitor or something like that? Something with board games. Yeah, so if you're single and looking, there could be good compatibility there in terms of meeting someone who you have mutual interest with. And if whether you're married or single but not looking, there could be good friendship there. It would be something you would enjoy. This is a good match. There's compatibility. So even if this game, this sport, this activity, this hobby, in a sense, could, in like a physical manifestation, take on the almost like a missing link, the missing piece to the puzzle that makes you feel whole, it makes you feel complete. I don't advocate looking for that in another person per se. I think that's a romanticized version of what we like to project onto people. And it's okay if you believe that. I'm not here to change your mind, but I'm more apt to say it's nice when you find hobbies, activities that feel like the missing piece to the puzzle, because essentially what I'm advocating for is you always need to feel whole on your own. I think it can stray into dangerous territory when you start projecting that onto people. Like, you're my missing link. I need you to feel whole. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm putting a kind of a little advocate or shout out for that. Yeah, and for others of you, it seems like there's discussion of children. So maybe you're dating, maybe you're married, maybe you're just looking into the future. And for a lot of you, this may have to do with a Capricorn or a Leo. Some of you, if you're a single parent, you may end up meeting another single parent through your children's hobbies or activities or their show, or something about your children is the main connection that leads you to one another. And it feels something like a school play or your kid's soccer game, or even if your kids are more like teenagers, right? There's something where you go to support your child. It could even be, parent teacher night or something, but it does feel more like a fifth house, like kind of fun stuff. Anyway, there could be a connection of single parents where you guys meet and then somebody asks you out or you go out on a date. I'm not trying to make this all romantic. I just kind of feel like it's headed that way. So let me finish this out and then we'll try and read for career or something. I think that is the message, though. Yeah, there's an offer that comes after you've been single for a while, and there is a connection to children or to young people, if that makes any sense. You know, maybe you meet someone and they are literally a teacher at a middle school or a high school or something like that. There's a connection of your dating life. And I want to be clear, this isn't like a creepy message. On the surface of it, the exterior, the external of this, children play some sort of factor in how you guys meet. It's not that you're dating a child. Don't make it weird. I didn't say that, okay? Let's see. All right, so let's talk about this wisdom. A lot of you, when you may be going through a difficult time, if it is your phase of your first return of Saturn, so age 28 to 31, roughly, depending on when you were born, right? You're being met with a lot of harsh obstacles that are teaching you a lot of the foundational knowledge you will need to succeed and overcome obstacles in this lifetime. So for some of you, again, particularly in that age range, 28 to 31, you're experiencing a lot of like, ooh, this is heavy stuff, this is uncomfortable. It will pass. The best advice I can give you is to take advantage of those heavy karmic lessons and try and shed the positive light on them. That's what the Hermit does, rather than taking it as a why me, this is so unfair, everyone around me is succeeding and I'm not. Again, that's a waste of your energy. You can jump to that headspace, you can be it's really exercising your more shadow side on it, or you can bring light to your shadow side and be like, okay, this is a lesson. If you look at it through that lens, I promise, whether it's your Saturn return or not, anything that happens to you that is a struggle or an obstacle or a challenge, it would help you to get the perspective of, okay, well, what is the lesson attached to this? I'm wanting to go through that door is blocked. Why? Ask yourself those kind of deep, probing, penetrating questions, however you want to say it, because you can pull gems of wisdom out of it and try and understand why there might be this delay, because ultimately the universe does have a plan for you, right? There's a reason why that door you're wanting to go through isn't open right now. So you can fight it, you can try and bang it down, you can struggle, but if the universe has decided it's not for you, hon, have peace of mind knowing, okay, it doesn't mean no forever, but right now the universe is essentially saying, shine your light on something else, follow another path, and if that door opens at another point, great, you can still walk through. But I hope you guys understand my metaphors, right? For some of you, that may even have to do with buying a house, right? If you're struggling to find a location, an apartment, a house, and you're just not finding one, rather than settling and taking any roof over your head, if you have the luxury of doing so, if you can be a little bit choosy, if you can wait a little bit longer, I think there is reward in the end. That's what Saturn return teaches us. Those heavy karmic lessons, if you allow the universe to give you knowledge and essentially force yourself to kind of pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I know that's a stupid expression, but when you meet obstacle head on and you don't operate out of fear or run from it, you're like, okay, I feel uncomfortable, but I will solve this. When you empower yourself, knowing that you can do it, you get return on the other end of it. So, and Saturn return happens, in theory, it could happen 9 times. I think it's every 30-ish years. So if you're in the age range of 58, 59, 60, you may be experiencing your second Saturn return, right? In which case, all the same things apply, but you're being hit with new obstacles and new lessons. In terms of feeling more your age, right? Whether that has to do with your body feeling your age or how society is projecting certain values or rules onto you. It's almost like an identity crisis. Again, knowledge and wisdom is the key term regarding that. Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn is the heavy. So again, whatever your age is, you may be getting hit with a very hard aspect in your birth chart to Saturn, right? So know that it will pass, but your best way of conquering this obstacle is facing it head on and trying to understand the lessons attached to it. And I would also say having a very good sense of humor about it. And I know, depending on what you're going through, that advice seems very surface level. It seems very petty. I would not underestimate the importance of breathing through it and taking a break from your problems, if only for an hour, if only for a day, if only for a week, right? Not that long. To take a break, take a vacation. It sounds like, what about Bob? Take a vacation from your problems. They're still going to be there when you get back, I promise, right? I think really that is Saturn's message, aka messages, third house, communications, right? take a break from whatever you're going through right now that really it does feel like a struggle. It won't always be, but the only way out of this struggle is to understand the greater messages and meaning behind it. And you have spirit guides trying to communicate this to you. They're trying to give you practical advice. The signs are around you, but you have to be open to receiving those messages. And I would even argue some of those messages, some of those solutions to your problems may exist in a space that you haven't put enough time and effort into, aka your hobbies, your things you do just simply for fun because they make you laugh, because they make you smile. Maybe there's going to be some great quote in your favorite Sylvester Stallone movie that changes your perspective on whatever internal war you're fighting, right? Go watch First Blood, whatever it is for you. There are solutions creative solutions around you, but you need to be seeking them out in areas that are a little bit less serious and intense, lighthearted. You guys know what I'm saying. I think that's actually really good wisdom. Are you focused on your money right now? Tell me about money. You Ten of Pentacles, a great money card. Returning to the past. So you would be surprised too, the whole blocked energy of this story about you want to revisit something, but it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. Some of you, it does seem like there's a break in the gray clouds. When you go to revisit something and it's very uncomfortable, you show up to the test. You face the lesson head on. You don't run from it, right? There isn't this escapist quality that can happen in Pisces season, right? I don't want to deal with the seriousness. I just want to drift off. I want to smoke some weed and watch Netflix, right? There's a time and a place for that. I don't think it's here. I don't think it's now, because a lot of my Tauruses, it feels like you're getting hit with some very heavy karmic energy. So the wisdom of this situation is possibly to fix something with your money, your business partnership, or even something regarding your family dynamic, your family situation. There's an idea of legacy here. There could even be arguments about family money, inheritance, something about that. When you go back and face what you're making out to be a scary monster, something you don't want to deal with, maybe even romantic relationships, this clouds part and the sun breaks through. There's a sense of freedom. There's a sense of relief. You start to grow again. So if money has been an issue, even in a completely different area of your life, if you're struggling, maybe it's saying, okay, let me go take care of this other thing and maybe something there will work out, or if I give it time or whatever. It has to do with repairing any relationship in your life, romantic, platonic, whatever. Someone who you have a little bit of a gripe with, energetically, it feels like there's a revival, there's a renewal after facing that thing that, again, it's uncomfortable. You don't want to do it. That's exactly what you need to go do. Then something breaks, and it could even involve getting a job. If you've been struggling with finding a job or employment or increasing sales, whatever this is, there's good news on the horizon, but it doesn't come without a difficult lesson in an area regarding a relationship of some kind. So, in fact, I'm going to keep that card. That seems really positive. Something on the home front. So some of you may end up getting work from home permission if you've been striving for that, or a job that is completely work from home, or it may have to do with going home to revisit, again, a family issue or something like that. This is so cool. It's like this little light inside you. It's like you sense it intuitively. The hermit, your spirit guides, however you want to say it, wisdom, even father time, a lot of Saturn karmic energy. Maybe it's something with your father, right? Doesn't have to be, but you sense it. It's like the light inside you is nudging you in this direction to go, again, bring justice to something, make it right. Then it becomes this beautiful light in the sky, something that it was like this small thing that was really hindering you or holding you up. When you go and face it with confidence, head on, when you don't run from that fear, when you go towards it, again, there's just like this relief. It's like you make it rain after. Like, it's good. I don't know how else to describe it. I apologize. That wasn't very eloquent, but it feels good. The energy attached to going and taking care of that thing that I just keep wanting to say it's nagging at you. You can't help but think about it. So maybe that's a sign you need to think about it more so that you can come to resolution. Golden word of the evening, resolution. Yeah, a lot of you, there could be issues with a father figure, or a very, I'm hearing the word enforcement. It could even be something about law enforcement. Does that make sense to any of you? Who lays down the law? You may feel like a point of authority is really coming down on you. It could even be your boss at work. There could have been some, I mean, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but there even could have been a boss that was approaching you in a very inappropriate way. And like, it's an uncomfortable conversation to have because you don't want to lose your job. But in the end, it's like, you have to do what your heart is telling you. You have to do what you know is right. And you will always know what is right. Over me, over any tarot reader, over any tarot reading, you have to trust your intuition. These are just little gems that if they offer you confirmation, by all means, take it and run with it, right? You have really strong cards, Taurus, so I hope you're not taking this as like heavy, disappointing messages. Really, it's saying to me that thing that's nagging at you, there's resolution that comes when you face your fear, and look how beautiful all these cards are. Deal with that thing that's really bothering you, that's really nagging at you, because from there, you can continue to build and ascend in your spiritual path. All right, Taurus, that's what I got for you. Yeah, face your fear. It's a mental prison. It's only going to get worse before it gets better if you don't deal with it, if you don't confront this eventually. You can stay in here. In a sense, you could argue this is a comfort zone, but it's a false comfort zone because you become so used to that uncomfortable feeling that it's like, okay, well, it's familiar. It's safe. It's really not that safe. And eventually this is going to lead to like bigger issues like anxiety, depression. I'm even hearing the word shut in, like someone who doesn't want to leave their home. You could have a mother or someone who struggles with that. Anyway, yeah, nip this in the bud so it doesn't get worse, but also so that it can get so much better. Face your fear and you find resolution. And this is great. There's opportunities with money or just activities and fun, things that bring you pleasure and joy and possibly even partnership if you're looking for that. All right, that's what I got for you. Taurus, thanks for joining me here today. Please remember to like and share and subscribe. It really does help my channel. So do it right now. Hit the like button. You're not hitting it. Hit the like button. I know you got to sign in. Hit it. All right, guys, I will see you next Wednesday for more tarot. Bye. Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading.